Florida Community College at Jacksonville is a comprehensive two-year institution, but we are also in the business of workforce education. We now offer 3 third-year programs, and we also offer bachelor's programs. We serve about 64,000 students throughout the Jacksonville area, 24,000 globally through our online programs. We have 5 major campuses, 4 major centers, and so the 24,000 students that we serve globally are primarily online students. Because Florida Community College has such a highly integrated and complex information systems infrastructure and portfolio of applications, it's very difficult to take the advantage of all of the legacy systems that we've built over the years and leverage the intelligence and the work and the investment that's in there to provide new opportunities and to bring them up to date in terms of the technology that we need for today. So we're trying to solve new business problems. We're trying to enter new areas of business. We're trying to do all these things in a very cost-efficient and very effective manner, but at the same time, we have to rely on a lot of older systems with data that's in old formats and things like that. So a tremendous amount of what we're trying to solve is the integration problem of our legacy systems and maximizing our investment there, extending the life cycle of those different products and portfolio applications into the next generation of computing that serves our new model of technology. Well, we have somewhere in the order of 1,200 web services that we already have out there as part of our SOA infrastructure. And as we were looking at that, we thought it would really be nice if we could take that web services concept, assign some workflow to it rather, and that we would be able to go ahead and eliminate a phenomenal amount of paper and manual processes that we have going on around the institution. That this entire paper series of forms and routing and things that we do really isn't on our brand. Our brand is technology leadership. We do everything in an extremely highly efficient way. But again, those old administrative systems really lent themselves to a tremendous amount of paper flow. So as we were looking at all of our IDF projects that we had out there, our integrated documents facilities projects and our web content management that ties into that, it just seemed that we needed a better solution. So we decided that we were going to go ahead and get into serious business process management, serious workflow, and start dealing with all of these paper forms and things that we have around. Not just for the efficiency, not just for the ease of use, but also for the audit accountability that's required in a lot of the processes that we currently have in place. Well, we had a number of different ways we could go. The first is we could go ahead and create composite applications for the web so that we had these web forms and we could go through and basically do some kind of a standard digital signature, and we could simplify our processes. So the first thing was that we could build a traditional application to do a transaction-based rather than a workflow or business process-based solution. The second thing that we could do was we could take our enterprise content management system and actually just create one-offs every time there was a form that was routed through. We didn't like either one of those solutions. We thought that this was unique enough and standard enough problem that we have throughout the institution to do a higher order workflow and better business process management. Part of our solution to these problems that we're dealing with today really isn't the technology, it's really the business. So what we're talking about doing is taking our business and defining it in process maps. So we take those process maps of each of our critical processes throughout our businesses, and then we take those and then we define our integration points, and that becomes a business architecture model that then we decide what are the best tools to implement that business architecture model. At the time that we were looking to come up with the solution to these problems, the biggest single impediment that we had to getting there was the fact that nobody really had a full suite that supported SOA. And we're very committed to SOA, we're very committed to web services, and we're very committed to having really good, rock-solid technology. Everything that's out there is mostly pieces and parts, for lack of a better way to describe that. So there are very few things that allow you to integrate your legacy applications, take advantage of the newest technologies that are out there that rely heavily upon standards, and allow you to have a central repository for all of your services infrastructure. And Software AG's toolset was the only one that we could find that did that. We picked an example that we knew people would be comfortable relating to. So our particular project was we took real-time leave and attendance. We took all of the things that you have to do to build a work schedule, and we took absences, leaves, and all of that process and folded that into one comprehensive workflow. What this allowed us to do was to take an employee's actual real-time work schedule, allow them to build that schedule, run it through an approval process of workflow, then at the same time take exceptions to that schedule and run them through a very similar workflow. For example, line of duty leave, vacation, sick leave, those kinds of things get charged to their actual work schedule that they've submitted through the system. The other thing is that it gives us a very fast real-time accounting of that time in our legacy systems rather than the paper delay. So that as soon as you submit an application for leave, it goes ahead and it tentatively encumbers your leave balances. It tentatively encumbers your work schedule, automatically populates that then over to your calendar so that everybody can see on your calendar that tentatively you're going to be gone for those 3 days. So it helps the entire flow of the office. It helps the entire workflow of the approval process. And at the same time, it keeps the data in our legacy systems as up to date as possible. It really solves an audit problem that we had that was due to the paper. Paper gets lost in the courier. You're not actually sure if it was approved or not by the time that the leave is taken. So there were a lot of audit issues that we've now been able to close with this. And then by integrating this with these other systems, you have real-time updated information on the calendar, which is regularly subscribed to by people throughout the institution. And at the same time, you've created a PDF over in the content management system so that you have an actual physical image of what that process looked like at the time that it occurred, which satisfies the auditors. What this allows us to do is to model our business, improve our business processes, and then take those models and immediately generate code from them. And that's the beauty of this suite. So in the let's bring value to the business side of it, this being able to take models and immediately generate code and systems from them is amazing. You can put the workflow right in to the system directly from these models that we've built of these institutional processes. The second thing is that it allows us to take and leverage those legacy applications for a really long time. So we've taken essentially our ERP and all of our other major legacy systems and been able to extend their life by 5, 10, 15 years over what it would have been, because we can get to the data directly through these applications, and we can also include those and expose them as services. The other thing that it allows us to do is to take and improve that user experience that is so important in our model, because we can take and provide to multiple form factors, we can provide to mobile devices, we can do all of these things through our modern application development, but we can still provide those same rock-solid transactions, the same dependable databases in the background that we've always had. So we're not building little one-off applications on some Access database somewhere. We're building industrial strength, robust, legacy quality applications that are being presented and interfaced with on modern devices in a modern environment. And to us, that's critically important. That what this has done is it allowed us to take about almost 1,400 hours off of our backlog of things that we would have had to do in our legacy systems in order to accomplish the same result. This gives us a chance to build something really solid one time that's reusable for years and years and years. So we don't have to go through that long process of systems development we used to have to go through to accomplish that. Well, benefits of working with Software AG for Florida Community College come in a couple of different categories. The first is that we honestly value the integrity that Software AG has shown over the years in its dealings with us. Any vendor relationship that's significant, where you do a lot of products and you do a lot of complex things in a lot of different areas, you're bound to have problems. And the true measure of Software AG has come through in their ability to consistently do the right thing, to fix problems, to work with us, to make sure we come to solutions that benefit our organization. The second thing is that we've had rock-solid technology from Software AG from the get-go. The stuff doesn't break. And so we're very happy with the things like Adabase and Natural they're just absolutely solid, dependable technology. We've had very good luck with the middleware. We've had really good luck with the people in the professional services area have always been knowledgeable, always been supportive, and we think we'd love to pay less money for them. Like, we'd like to pay less money for everything, but the professional services people, when they show up, they're worth every penny. We never feel that we've wasted a penny on Software AG services. And then the other side of it is we really like the leadership and the strategic vision. We think from the CEO suite in Darmstadt all the way down that there is a vision at Software AG that is compatible with where technology is going. It's compatible with where business is going. It makes us feel very comfortable. So we're in a situation where we know we're with a leader. We know we're with a dependable and highly a company of high integrity. And we know that we're working with people who are competent, intelligent, and who genuinely are interested in doing the right thing. You can't do any better than that.